Hey, welcome back. Uh, yeah, I'm not even gonna bring that up, Rick. I'm not even gonna do that to you on live. Not gonna do that. I'm too much of a friend. Uh,
That's decent of you, my man.
yeah, I try. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode of NFTs with Keys. Today we are gonna be talking about some NFT loans as well as Meta kind of trying to rob people in their metaverse, and also too, uh, are NFT endorsements from celebrities, are they legal or illegal? We'll kind of discuss a little bit more about that a little bit later. Also, too, we have a kind of a super cut video we're going to be releasing pretty soon, maybe in the next week or so, where of our little field trip to Bored and Hungry, the Bored Ape themed restaurant out in Long Beach. So definitely keep your eye out for that and stay tuned. And yeah. Now, speaking of Bored Ape stuff, before I hop into the show, SneakerCon. I used to be a big sneakerhead, but SneakerCon is actually being taken over uh, by Bored Apes, apparently. I thought that was kind of interesting, kind of strange, but I don't know what happened there. But yeah, so here's a little flyer right there. It straight up says Apes take over SneakerCon, May 21st and the 22nd. I'm probably not going to go because I can't afford the shoes this time. I don't have $400 spendable income.
Oh wait. You're telling me you don't just have 5 or 6 ETH lying around?
No.
It's all right. Neither do I.
Yeah,
That's the perks of being broke, ladies and gentlemen.
you're not broke though. You're far from broke. But yeah,
Hey,
no, not you're not that
It works hard.
you're not that wealthy, we'll say. Um, but yeah, also too, I kind of want to just laugh at something because it's a good joke. At least I thought it was hilarious. Was Estevani, I think is how you say his name, the dude who bought the Jack Dorsey tweet for $2.9 million.
Right,
Tried to sell it
right.
at a list price. Yeah, tried to sell it at a list price of 48 million, and the highest bid was $280.
You know, I feel bad that someone out there didn't take the opportunity to drop tree fitty on there. Just a little tree fitty.
For all we know, someone did. It's just not the highest one because the $280 was the highest amount anyone was willing to buy. And I heard the funniest thing, or I should say, read the funniest thing on Twitter. Someone was like, "I bet you $20 it was the person who sold it to him for 2.9 million."
Hey guys, look what I got. 2.9 million and my product back.
Right, right. So I thought that was kind of funny. It's a little more comical news happening. But yeah, so let's just jump into this. So NFT loans are kind of making a bigger splash than they have in the last, I would say probably last year or so. I know some other places have been doing it, but basically, since NFT sales are slowing down, people are trying to look for a way to capitalize on their NFTs and their properties and um, basically find some liquidity out of
Yeah.
the NFTs that they have. NFT sales went from $4.6 billion in January to $2.6 billion by the end of March. So we're talking almost a 50% cut. I think there's a lot to say with what's going on in the world and also with inflation in the United States, as well as just I think too the hype is kind of waning on a lot of the people, even though it's becoming more I guess common, for lack of a better word. But yeah, so not all projects. Yeah. But also not all projects are declining. Obviously, Bored Apes they've increased. Azuki's I think have increased. So kind of the more blue chip. I hate saying that because when you talk the term blue chip though is kind of more referring to like General Electric or like stocks where these companies have been around for 20, 30, 40, even 100 years. Um, so it's kind of
Doesn't
called.
it feel like 100 years of NFTs already, though?
It feels like a long
Doesn't
time.
it feel like that?
It feels like a long time. I do have to say the closest thing to a blue chip NFT project is probably Bored Ape, just because it's gone through like dips, massive dips, and massive highs, and it's still around and it's still talked about.
We
For,
suffer.
yeah, obviously for good reason. So it kind of makes sense, but it is one of those things that and I just don't like calling it blue chip, but that's what everyone's refers to it as, so whatever. But also too, so there's been a rise in NFTs lending. So recently, due to owners wanting to utilize them as assets to gain liquidity, as I said, and also in turn to generate additional yield for um, what they have. I mean, it makes sense. Like if you have something, you want to make money off of it. You know what I mean? Like especially if you're holding on to a let's say a bored ape and you don't want to sell it. I mean, how else are you going to be able to capitalize off of that? Without selling it. Obviously, there's if you happen to be a really creative person, you can try to market it and have that all that utility that comes with the bored ape.
Yep.
But yeah, the NFT loan volume on decentralized lending NFT marketplaces like Arcade or NFTFi have increased 171% from 30.63 million in Q4 of 2021 to 83.17 million in Q1 of 22, according to Dune Analytics. So this is kind of big because I think people are starting to realize that during these lulls and these dips, um, it's not over for your NFT, especially if you have like a very vast and large collection, or you got lucky and you have a few really expensive ones. You're able to do something
Yeah.
with this, like I think it's kind of crazy to think that you can take a loan out on your NFT, but I
It's
mean,
crazy too.
we're also talking along the lines of NFT law nowadays too. So I mean, what you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's crazy. I think it'll be interesting to kind of see where that goes. Um, Also, too, Stephen Young, the CEO of NFTFi, said that a majority of the lending market is focused on established high-value NFT collections. While overall NFT sales might be down, the top-tier projects still retain considerable value. And that's really what it comes down to is you're gonna want to take let's say you're not savvy enough to open up your own pop-up restaurant like Bored and Hungry, or you don't you're not making music videos because you're not an artist, so you're not using your bored ape in that way. But you have a bored ape which is worth over 100 ETH. You can get a loan
Ugh.
now. Like think about that. Like you can get a loan based off of just that. And obviously, if you don't pay your loan back, they're going to steal or not steal because it's part of the contracts, but you're going to lose your board ape. But I guess that's cool. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. I didn't know about Arcade. I heard about NFTFi. But I guess Arcade specializes in providing NFT owners with the ability to get a loan by putting their digital assets up or their digital collectibles up as collateral, which I think is kind of cool because then you're not putting up your car or your house, which I'm sure a lot of these people
Yeah.
who had multiple bored apes now have a home and a car from that.
Dude, it's insane. I didn't even know that that this was even a thing until like you brought it up, in the show and actually preparing for this. It blows my mind that you can take a loan out on your Ford Ape, and
Yeah.
there's a whole industry behind it. It just again a testament to NFT. Like even now, when holding the NFT and selling it is dwindling down, people are still finding utility in these things. Although I get it, it's to make money right now, but still.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think the Ethereum NFTs are the only ones. I could be wrong, but I think some Cardano NFTs are starting to do something where you can kind of create kind of like some liquidity off of it, like either via staking. I know some Ethereum NFT projects like Sappy Seals, you can stake your Sappy Seals and get coin back like that, and I'm pretty sure that's how some on Cardano is. But so it's not unheard of for you to get more value or some liquidity out of the NFT without actually getting rid of it. Um, but it is really cool to see that, and I'd like to see some of these other projects start doing this. And I'm also curious too, like let's say you don't have any like bored apes or anything like that. What if you just have a bunch of Sappy Seals or some fast food friends, and you just have, let's say, you have like 4,000 NFTs, but it's like valued at $2 million. Can you take a loan out for $1 million?
Probably not.
Honestly, why not though?
Well, because they'd have to liquidate. So, like, when I think of it this way, I feel like you have to liquidate a bunch of really small assets in order to recover that. And, like, what if that thing completely goes under? Like, I feel like the reason why you can do a Bored Ape because it's a single sale and it's going to be massive, and they can
Well, no, but
recoup
that's not what they're
like
talking.
a million tiny sales.
But that's not actually what they're talking about, though, because it's not just with a high valued Bored Ape. It's you're taking a loan out against your essentially your NFT wallet. So sure, let's say like you do have 2,000 NFTs and none of them are Bored Apes or Crypto Punks, but it's valued at $1 million. Sure, maybe not. You can't take a loan out for $1 million, but they'll gladly give you one for 100K because they'll just liquidate your whole 2,000. You know what I mean? They'll just end up liquidating your shit because you're throwing your NFTs up as collateral. So obviously that depends. Like that's the way I would see it is they'd take it, but then if you don't pay the loan back, they're gonna take your 2 million and liquidate it.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, and that's a very valid point. My mind goes to weird places when I think of other numbers, but yeah, no, you make a very valid point. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's just the way I
Well, yeah,
yeah, that's just the way I see it because it would be dumb for a business, not to take the money because if you default on the loan, they're getting 2 million, possibly more, possibly less, but definitely more than the 100K they gave you.
that's the hope. That's the hope.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, we don't know how like it theoretically speaking, if the NFT bubble, if it's a bubble, just completely bursts, right? And let's say it goes the way of the dodo, right? At least with the Beanie Babies, you could start a fire with them, you know? You can't start a fire with your NFTs. It's like the non tangible, like, oh, we gotta sell them. You think we can recoup $1 for each one? Bro, we can't even start a fire with these. And this is on like an other end of the scale. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can see that happen.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe, but not. Let's
Yeah.
not say that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I can see that. I mean, it's a possibility. We don't know. It would be kind of funny to see
Wild
what would.
West, people. The Wild West.
Yeah, it'd be kind of funny to see what would happen to Arcade or NFT Fi if that happened. All their outstanding loans, like they just got robbed essentially by everybody who just pulled these loans out. Now they're like, well, you can have my worthless shit. I'm not gonna pay you back though. Like
Right. You
you
can
get
keep
my.
all my thousand whiny, wimply elephants. It's cool, buddy. I don't care. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But let's move on. So, Meta or Facebook, as everyone else probably knows. I mean, by now everyone should know it's Meta. So they're starting to. They kind of just recently announced that they're going to be, obviously selling NFTs or digital assets in their metaverse called Horizon Worlds. But they're going to take. I said 50%. I'm just kind of being more facetious there. It's 47 point something percent. That they're going to end up taking, which is kind of insane. So essentially, 50% of all sales, they're taking half the money. Um, and I don't.
That sounds totally on par with them.
Yeah,
Very on brand.
uh,
Very on brand, Zuckerberg.
you would think so. So yeah, so Meta announced that they're letting a handful of Horizon World creators sell virtual assets within the world they build, which would eventually be NFTs. But they didn't initially announce how much they would charge. But Meta did confirm that they're planning to take a cut up to 47.5% on the sale of digital assets on the virtual reality platform. That includes a hardware platform fee of 30% for sales made through the through the Meta Quest store. Um, and they also are going to do a 17.5% fee for Horizon World. Um, so so essentially, what's going to end up happening is you're paying them twice. You're paying Meta first 30% straight out, and then you're going to be paying Horizon World 17.5. I don't see this being a good move considering you have, a bunch of people hearing this in the NFT space and they're like, OpenSea takes 2.5%. Looks Rare
They're
takes
really
2%.
cool.
You know, another thing too
Yeah.
that I think a lot of people are pissed off about is, clearly Mark Zuckerberg, he forgets that he talked crap on Apple for charging 30% in fees on the App Store. And then you're going to sit here and charge 50%? Like, what's wrong with you, you greedy bastard?
Greed. Real greed.
I
Like,
mean,
it's insane.
yeah, like some greed is good. I get it. Robinhood app stuff. Like I get that, but like, are you gonna try to rob these like users? Like these are the people who are gonna create your platform. They're gonna create your metaverse, and you're gonna end up robbing them by taking half of the money that they can make. I don't see that being a very conducive place for any kind of creator or anybody who wants to, you know, do this like for metaverse, or for meta. Their meta's metaverse, yes. I mean, there's Decentraland, there's the Sandbox, there's all these other ones. I mean, I'm sure
It
Cardano is gonna
feels
pop
like
out one.
really banking on the fact that the popularity and the population density that uses Facebook/Meta, that by introducing it on this platform, I think the assumption here is that he's going to get significantly more eyes than let's say OpenSeas would, and that this is going to be like the de facto place where all of these transactions happen. I think that's the hope here,
Yeah,
and I see that play too, but like I will continue to say, and hopefully am garnering a army in the masses when I say, "Screw you, Meta. I want no part of this."
yeah. Honestly, like, I don't want any part of Meta's metaverse. Although I feel like they're probably going to lay most of the groundwork for where it ends up being, but I don't want to be a first adopter for that one. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't like everything they're doing. It seems very greedy, considering you're talking about a space that basically made millionaires overnight, but not everyone in the space is rich. So it's like,
Yep.
we all want to make it. We all gonna make it, but it looks like Meta's
Yeah.
basically saying no one's gonna make it but us, and it's like, well, go screw yourself.
No, 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 no. We all gonna make it, but you're gonna make it through us.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
Meta's trying to say. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, 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 exactly. So yeah, well, I think that kind of wraps that one up. I just kind of thought it was bullshit. Yeah, I'm trying not to swear
Yeah.
as much anymore, but yeah,
Yeah, I get it. I'm just over here scratching my head.
yeah, it's kind of BS like that they would do that, especially because there's no like there's other metaverses that you can do stuff and have NFTs on, and it's like, why would you go somewhere where if you sell something for $100, you only get $50 because 50 of it's going to go to Facebook
Wow.
essentially. Like, so it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
that's BS. Um,
I hope you guys realize that 100 that they're taking, I'm gonna call it the farm bill tax. You know what I mean? All that farming you did, all that plowing, bam, here we are. And I suspect some of you are gonna be still farm billing it up in the metaverse.
oh yeah, you're just gonna be doing it physically. But anyways, let's move on to this. I found this really interesting. I found it like buried in my search for something interesting to talk about in NFTs. So there's kind of a big thing going around. Can celebrities endorse NFTs? Is it illegal or not? Um, yeah, we're gonna kind of get into some of the weeds, so it might get a little, boring out there. But I think if you hold on and you sit with it, you kind of come away with like some knowledge here, or at least you can join in the conversation and we can talk about it and chop it up in the comments. But
Yeah,
basically,
I'm staring at the chat, fam.
yeah. So basically, with the rise of celebrities getting into the NFT space, the question of can celebrities endorse NFTs has arisen. Tech and legal advisor Bob Seaman said celebrities and social media influencers have a lot of brand power, but this is a whole new area with NFTs. So the regulatory interpretation of it and how the regulators will treat it is unknown. Um, yeah, obviously. A key legal question is whether digital assets, including NFTs, are securities and therefore subject to the same rules as stocks. As we kind of know, the best way to look at a coin or any kind of crypto is it's essentially a stock. So that's why Elon will get in trouble when he starts talking about you know Dogecoin or a stock or something. Like he legally cannot talk about, I'm gonna, like, when he bought those 9% of Twitter, he couldn't say I'm buying 9% of Twitter because it would have jacked the price up.
Yep.
He had to do it afterwards and announce that he already bought it. This is how much he paid for, and this and that. So there's already kind of precedent for some crypto kind of, and then mostly stocks. But But so the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, rule stipulates that it is unlawful for any person to tout a security like a stock without disclosing a financial relationship or ownership to the source. In other words, celebrities that are being compensated would have to disclose their payment.
Looking at you, Matt Damon.
Yes, and I'm looking at you, Snoop Dogg, for your Clay Nation stuff. I want to know: are you
You know
being
what? Like Kat said, we're gonna call them out by name. The Pauls, the Mayweathers, all the influencers out there, the Hilton, and especially Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, and Jimmy Fallon, and all these people. What's her name? Reese Witherspoon. Like all these people. I want to know. I want to know: are you in the NFT space, or are you being paid to promote these because your brand power is so big that you're going to blow up these projects? Because if that's the case, you're despicable. But
Well said.
anyways, we're going to keep moving forward. So as of right now, the SEC has not determined that NFTs are securities, but that can change at any moment. A good way to gauge the celebrity's interest in the NFT space is by looking at recent Series A funding round for MoonPay, which saw celebrities like Ashton Kutcher, Bruce Willis, Gal Gadot, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jason Derulo, Mindy Kaling, Shawn Mendes, Matthew McConaughey, and our boy Steve Aoki. I don't really know him. I just wanted to say that.
He's the boy.
Yeah, so it's like, and also, like I said, Snoop Dogg with Clay Nation. But I think that's more of a collaboration. So I kind of want to know more because he's obviously going to be doing stuff. So CNFT community, don't come at me. Not talking crap. I'm just saying I want to know because if he's getting paid by the Clay Nation team, then don't fall for that. It's fake. They're just trying to jack up the price of everything. So then, not saying they're going to rug pull it, but try to jack up the price. So then they end up with a ton more money on royalties and other stuff like that. I could be wrong. I just want to know, is Snoop Dogg doing it because he's collaborating with them? And if so, how much are they paying him? Because at the end of the day, I still think they're paying him. Anyways, moving on. So MoonPay CEO Ivan Soto Wright says it's clear why artists and musicians are so attracted to NFTs. Web3 and the blockchain technology that underpins NFTs have the potential to disrupt how creators and artists manage their royalties without help of middlemen. So again, I think this is it makes sense why an artist or a famous person wants to get an NFTs because obviously it's great for branding. Obviously, it's great for getting money. Um, but there's also some questions of is this legitimate or are they just like who? Here, I'll just give you an example. Justin Bieber joined the Bored Ape Yacht Club back in January after purchasing one for 500 ETH. I know. It's crazy. That's a ton. So hours before his purchase, another wallet owned by the creators of another NFT collection called Inbetweeners dropped about 916 Ethereum into Bieber's wallet, which experts say raised question about whether Bieber paid for his ape with the money received from an undisclosed endorsement deal. This would be illegal if the SEC deemed NFTs to be a security. So this is kind of where we're at right now. Obviously, I think the Biebs is he had a good move right there. If that was the case, that was genius. That was a good move. I'm mad I'm not famous like that and can do that.
100%.
Another person too was Madonna. This one seems a little more shady to me. Madonna, that old ass woman, entered the space last month by acquiring a Bored Ape. Maverick, the firm run by her manager Guy Osseri, I think that's how you say his last name. Late last year, signed Yuga Labs, the parent company of Bored Ape Yacht Club, as a client. So that one to me seems more of like, did she actually buy it? Or did Yuga Labs just fork one over? Is that payment for maybe she didn't actually buy one? Maybe it was just given to her as payment. Which, if that's the case, I just want to know if that's the payment. That's all it is. I just want to know. So it does seem that there's some serious issues coming from celebrities. As you guys know, if you've actually been watching, NFTs with Keys, you know my stance. I don't think it. I think it's a good thing. It's a blessing and a curse. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing with celebrities and NFTs. I think it's good because it's gonna, put people, more people that don't know what the hell NFTs are, and people who want it, and then also too, I think it's bad because I don't trust them. I've seen too many times when you watch, let's say even this show, we're not that big yet, but at some point I'm sure we'll be doing live reads, and I guarantee you I will not use that product. You know what I mean? Like 90% of the time I probably won't be using that product. You see this beard? There's no way I'm using Harry's razors or Jeremy's razors or whatever razor company. But will I get paid to read their ad on live on my show? Heck yes. So that's my point where it's like I think there's some issues there, and so if that's the case, if you see me ever doing a live read for an ad, I'm getting paid. But if when you see these art or
With that, I'd like to thank Raid Shadow Legends.
yeah, Raid Shadow Legends, yeah, shout out. Yeah, if you want to sponsor us, yeah. But yeah, so like that's one of those things. I personally I'm against, not fully against them, but I just want to have some transparency there. This is what we're in a trustless community essentially. So I want full transparency. I don't want to have to trust you. I just want to see like, oh, you're making money, cool. I might not put my money into that project, or oh, you're just a part of it. You're just like me. You just happen to be famous and a millionaire. I want to join that project. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. Like, who knows? I mean, I think Reese Witherspoon isn't one of those people. I think she just bought some NFTs and that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to you know, some of these MoonPay people, like, or perfect example is Paris Hilton. Don't get me wrong. I know she's very empowering for the women in the space, but I don't I think that's her just making money. She's super savvy businesswoman, so I just think she's trying to make some money. And at the end of the day, I just think these celebrities need to disclose if they're getting paid or not, because I want to know if you're just trying to make some money, and how disgusting are these, not saying all of these projects and these moderators and these people doing it, but how disgusting are they if they're just going to fork over some money just so then they get sold out and people are buying and their floor price skyrockets up to like 50 ETH, and you know that they're making royalties of like, and probably 20% or 15%, and they're just that's why they spent the money to get Paris Hilton to be like, oh yes, buy this NFT, and it's like, what? Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I just went on a rant right there. I just that one just it really like it, I just want some transparency.
You're ruining the NFT world. You're ruining the cryptocurrency world, and you need to leave.
Yeah, and well, you don't have to leave. You can stay. Just be transparent. I want to know if you're getting paid by Bored Ape to sponsor or endorse their product. Or Snoop Dogg, are you being paid by Clay Nation, or is it truly just a collaboration? You know what I mean? That's
Snoop.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you come on our show, I'm a better moderator than what they gave you previously. Well, let's chop this up.
I will
Snoop,
smoke you out.
It up.
I will smoke you out, Snoop.
I don't know. I will spend 2 months of my pay to attempt to smoke you out. But let's do this. Let's chop it up, Snoop.
And you know what? I think that's a great place to end today's show. So with that, go follow me on Twitter at NFTs with Keys, as well as my boys at Argyros Crypto. Or yeah. Also, go like and subscribe. Thank you to all the new followers. Thank you to like the 4 people that tune in weekly to watch not just my show NFTs with Keys, but also the Crypto Bytes podcast. So yeah, and like always at the end of the show, I hand it to Rick to do a shameless plug.
You say it's shameless, but in all reality, if you got some ADA and it's just kind of burning a hole in your wallet, why don't we go ahead and stake it with AGC, ticker AGC? Go ahead and make some of that money back. Think of it this way: we're a single stake pool, low saturation rate, and when we mint the block, you get significantly more reward. Let us reward you. Ticker AGC.
And with that, I'm out. Rick's out. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Thursday. Deuces.